What causes me the most stress? I would say waking up in the morning and knowing that I have a huge task ahead of me in the day, like homework or, an unrelated like school project or something like that. And that tends to weigh on my mind a lot throughout the day, I'd say. And I just want to, I have a longing for wanting to just get it done and over with, but I'll kind of put it off the last minute, and that definitely stresses me out. That definitely stresses me out big time.
What brings you true happiness?
What brings me true happiness, I would say, is definitely getting my boots wet in the river. Definitely having a fly rod in hand, and I don't know, just being able to stand in the middle of a river with nothing, nobody else around, and being able just to like experience that spiritual quietness. There's nothing like that. There's nothing.
It's like going back to the basics.
Yeah.
It's
without everything.
There's a special nothingness to it.
Mm-hmm.
There really is. It's peaceful. Nobody's bothering you. There's nothing on your mind besides, looking at your fly box and catching some nice fish and just enjoying the beautiful day and Mother Nature that's around you. There's nothing like that. And nothing ever will compare to it.
I definitely get that.
It's a beautiful thing.
So true.
How long have you been fly fishing?
I've been fly fishing since, before I could even walk. My dad would take me in one of those little pack things on his chest and take me out in the river. And we belonged to a my dad's belonged to a fly fishing club for as long as I could remember, the Henryville Fly Fishing Association. And it's about like a 15-mile stretch of private river and just filled with like beautiful trout. And he would take me out there and he would just show me the basics. He would flip a rock over and be like, here, Christian, here's all these different bugs that you have to identify and match the hatch for fly fishing, and that sort of thing. And he just taught me how to cast and, taught me how to read the water of where trout would be. And I just really learned everything from him, like I said, from being able to cast to, identifying bugs. And it just, it really took over my life. I'm a fly fishing addict, a trout bum. I really am. There's nothing like it.
It's obviously, I've never been fly fishing, but I feel like it's definitely way more peaceful than just like regular rod and reel fishing.
Anybody can pick up a rod and reel,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And
You
just
can get
like
lost in the technique.
Yeah,
When you're
and
fly
just like,
fishing, you can get lost in like the motions. that
yeah, I
you're
feel
going
like
through.
you like develop a certain rhythm and like you just kind of go along with nature. Like you're so much more with nature than
anybody can push a button or flip a bail open on a rod and just cast it, but it takes like talent and time and patience to be able to go through the motions of a fly fishing, rod, cast at 10 to 2. You got to go out in the backyard every day for an hour or so, you know what I mean, to practice those casts. To a cone, to a fucking hay bale, to a tree. Something. Just get out there and practice. It really makes a difference. And when you get out in the water, you won't have any problems. It really makes a big difference. And if you're passionate about it, it'll just build and build, and it's something you'll be stuck with for the rest of your life. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
So what is purpose then?
What is purpose? That's the question, right?
Yeah.
No, purpose is like when you wake up in the morning, it's like, how am I feeling this morning? Do I feel like shit? Do I feel good? It's like it's having a drive, like this like will to get up in the morning, to like go throughout your day and just to be like, be positive. And it can be really hard sometimes to like feeling like, I don't have a purpose, but it's hard. It's hard to explain.
It is hard. It's something like you don't normally think to quantify or try to put into words. It's just something that is, but like when you try to do that, words kind of fail you.
For me personally, I've always like suffered from like anxiety and like depression and stuff like that. So every morning I'm like, how am I doing? And like some mornings I'm like, wow, I really don't have the drive, or I really don't feel like I have the purpose of doing anything today. I'd rather just stay in my bed all day. and you know, some days are worse. You know, I mean, I think we've all had the low point of like, wow, I really rather just be dead right now, or you know, I'd rather just be asleep away from people forever, and that's pretty hard, because then you're just like, wow, I really don't have a purpose. But you have to find something like within your life that gives you that purpose to keep going. For me personally, it's like it'd be like with my dad. Like we just have like such a strong relationship. Hi, Josh. And
deep bitches.
Can you just say the last sentence that you just said?
No problem. Me and my dad have bonded over such a long amount of time, so I feel like that gives me the purpose to keep going. I want to spend time with my dad, and I want to go fly fishing with him. I want to travel the world. I just want to be a good person and just, you know, spread positivity, and I think that gives me purpose throughout my day and just like for my life, I'd say. So I think that's really important. I think everybody deserves to have, like, you know, some sort of purpose, and I think everybody should think about that when they first wake up in the morning. What am I going to do today? What's my purpose here? I think it's a really important question that you should ask yourself daily in the morning when you first get up. So,
what is your version of success?
What is my version of success?
Yeah. Oh, you can think about it while you smoke.
No, what's my version?
Is this audio tape going to be broadcasted to everyone, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's anonymous. It can be anonymous completely, or it could be whatever. Like I'm gonna.
Are you going to edit out the bong rips, though?
For yours, if you
Oh, no,
want,
I don't care. I'm asking if you're planning to.
No, I really want it to just be everything that happened. Like I want it to be pretty raw.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
No, this is good. I'm gonna take 2 bong rips, and then I'm gonna answer that question.
Cool.
Enunciate.
Oh no, I don't care. I love how this is broadcasted to everybody at Unity College. You should hear it. If I were to define success, for me personally, wow.
Yeah, it's totally different for each person too.
It is totally
I've heard
different.
so many different ideas of what.
Well,
success is.
personally, I want to, let's just say job-wise, I want to be a fly fishing guide eventually and have that money to be comfortable with like living, you know, and like flip-flopping from the north in the winter time to go down south to do like tarpon guiding and stuff like that. And in the springtime, I would guide up here doing trout fishing. And if that were to work out and I were, you know, financially successful, well, I would call that being rather successful, and I'd be one happy motherfucker because I would be guiding people, making them happy to catch fish, and you know, that's just a great time. It's my passion in life. It's all I do, and it's pretty much what I'm good at. But more on a broad scale, I think it's, again, waking up in the morning and just saying to myself, have I been successful? Have I completed all my tasks that I wanted to do today? Have I completed my tasks, you know, throughout the week that I wanted to do, the year maybe? Do I have any goals? Did I meet those goals? And if I met those goals and I went above and beyond, then I was successful. That's what I really see it as. You know, even just doing like little daily tasks and completing them, I would call that being successful, because you're just going forward with your day and your life, and that's what really matters. Keep yourself busy. Keep yourself busy. Don't sit around, because then that just leads to failure and falling into mental holes, I like to call it. Keep yourself occupied.
Alright.
Time to ask Joshy some questions.
Yep.
Josh, it's about to get real.
I was born ready.
Alright. So,
You're the perfect person for this.
No.
what is purpose?
What is purpose?
Now that everyone thinks you're the perfect person for this. Is that your purpose?
What is my purpose, or
No,
what is
what is
purpose?
I
Or it
went.
could be,
I
what is
went.
your
I went
purpose?
personally, and then I went broad. If that helps you out.
Yeah, or
Okay.
you could do both.
Purpose. It might not even be something you know. I think if it's the first thing you wake up, if like you wake up in the morning and that's the first thing you think about, that's your purpose, and you might not even like that, and you might disagree with it. But whether you want to believe it or not, if you wake up and you're like, this is your purpose. It's how you, I guess it's its identifier. Its definition is it's such an integral part of your being, and it's like a non-negotiable. Me and Maggie were actually just talking about this the other night. It's a non-negotiable, so it's something that you. It's kind of like what you build your life on. Like you build your life inside out, and whatever your purpose is it? If it's not the center, it's damn near close to the center. So you could have, that's the thing. You could have multiple purposes. You could have no purpose, which I imagine is a really scary feeling.
Unless you like to identify like that, where you don't want to identify as anything. So
Well,
like,
yeah, but-
your purpose is just going about life.
I don't know if that's you not having a purpose or you being in denial of what the actual purpose is.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a real subconscious thing.
Yeah.
Because it's really something that it's so in there that it's not something you can exactly control, or probably not even something you think about often, because it's a given. You know, it goes without saying for like who you are. My purpose, now I'll zoom in on me, pull a Christian. My purpose is, I'm gonna go people. Because people are like, should I look? Should I not look? Is this candid?
Candid.
Cool. Yeah, so people are like my greatest asset, and like people around me are like, I hold them in such a high regard, and they're so valuable, so that they give me energy, you know? Mm-hmm. So if I get up, I can make people happy. I can just generally be a positive influence to those around me. Then I'd say I'd fulfill my purpose.
What is your version of success?
Well, I'll tell you what it's not. I don't consider success economic or even really occupational. I mean, if success is really, it's something you ask yourself, am I successful? And if you say yes and you believe wholeheartedly that you have been successful and you've done everything that you could do as a person, in my mind you're successful, because I couldn't possibly ask for something more than that, than your maximum potential. So careers, I'm sure, have something to do with it for most people. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if you can live your life happily, not step on too many toes, and enjoy just existing and doing your thing. I'd consider you pretty successful, because happiness is something that's pretty damn hard to achieve, right? Mm-hmm. I will consider myself successful when I am A, self-sustaining, 100%. B, just doing what I love on a daily basis. I want to be an educator. So if I can convey any wisdom or information that I have onto people, and I can see that it stimulates their thinking and it impacts them, then I will be happy. And if I'm happy, then I consider myself successful. That makes sense?
Yes.
Sorry if it was a little rambly. But.
No, that's pretty much exactly what my version of success is as well.
Okay.
Because I feel like so many people put a monetary value on it, and that's totally fine if that's like.
I'm
what
not big on
goal
putting
is.
figures on life in general,
Right.
like GPA, salary, all that stuff. It's all too life isn't black and white enough to do that,
Right.
and have it be accurate in my mind.
No, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
What brings you true joy? True happiness? Or if you know, a lot of people don't know that yet.
Things get real bad.
Ripping bong.
Well, it's not a bad point. Like, there's a difference between what makes you happy and what brings you true happiness. Smoking weed makes me happy. But what brings me true happiness?
It's a hard question.
That's the hardest one yet, for sure. It's ironic. It shouldn't be that hard.
No,
but for everybody it is, I'm sure.
No, absolutely.
May I? Life makes me happy. Not in the sense like my life makes me happy, but like life itself. People, animals, the natural world. Yeah. That's I mean, could that be my purpose? No, the natural world, because like I even though it's a tree, like you see a part of you in it, because you know that whether you want to believe it or not, you have a lot in common, and yeah, I'm gonna go with the simplistic answer on this one of the natural world.
What causes you the most stress? Did I already ask you that one?
No.
No, okay. What causes you the most
Causes
stress?
me the most stress. Well, that one is an easy one.
Not having enough weed.
Full circle.
Sorry.
When the bull runs out.
So yes, what causes me the most stress is myself. And I think that's the case for most people. I think a lot of people do live lives in which they can choose to be happy if they really wanted to. But the sound of your own gears grinding drives you mad. And it's more of an introspective than external factor thing. And that is kind of a foundation of all stress in my life. I mean, I'm talking for me, but
Yeah.
I'd like to think at least someone out there can sympathize.
Yeah.
But yeah, not being able to get out of my own head is the most stressful thing in the entire world, because where are you going to run, right?
Do you have anything that can do that for you? Like a lot of, like Christian was saying, he goes fly fishing.
I run.
You run.
Run from my problems, as I say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Running like the wind.
And then friends. Best resource you could possibly have.
Yeah, definitely.
Amen. Otherwise, you go fucking crazy.
More port. And yeah, you go crazy. You go absolutely mad.
I think we've all gotten to that point up here. Or just about.
Well, up here is seclusion. I know it's not even as rural as it could be, but you get cabin fever from being outside because it's Unity, Maine. And what's in Unity, Maine?
Yeah.
Once you've lived here for a month, you've done everything you could possibly do.
Spankies, you hop in the post office, baby.
Yeah. And then you go, and then it's repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. And it is so monotonous and so...
Why do you not go places and do things?
Oh, I do, because I'm forced to.
Yeah.
Yeah, to break that cycle.
Yeah.
But wintertime, I love the winter. Being on campus in the winter is actually awful, because I'm just like,
Yeah.
what can I do?
400 feet of snow and nowhere to go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Maybe.
So, do you guys have anything else that you want to add before I turn the recorder off?
Anything else to add? That's always the grand question.
My name is Josh Flagg. I don't know if I've said that yet.
Oh, no.
But that's
yeah.
me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And this is Christian Cochran.
Signing off.
Signing off.
You guys have your own
Over.